Hey everyone, it's Joe Guines here from the Automator. I'm talking to Jean Alon, author of Quick Access Popup, and now his
Hi,
other
Joe.
hey Sean, his other really cool clipboard tool. And as a couple years ago, we ran into your generated campaign because you were working on your code signing certificates, and they have, at least at the time, really jacked up the price, right? So now is the time where if you're a user of one of those tools and you can afford it, like I know Jean doesn't want, if you can't afford it, don't send in money. But if you can afford it, send in a few bucks. It'd be really helpful. What we thought we'd do is have a little fun, and we're going to ask Gemini to help explain some of the stuff to us. So I'm going to go ahead and hit talk. Hey, Gemini, can you tell us why it's important to get a code signing certificate for our executables that we create?
Getting a code signing certificate is crucial because it adds a layer of trust and security to your executables. It basically verifies that your software comes from a known publisher and hasn't been tampered with after it was signed. This helps users feel more confident about running your software.
Does it also help to prevent malware false alerts?
Yes, absolutely. It significantly reduces the chances of your software being flagged as malware by antivirus programs. Since the certificate verifies your identity and the integrity of the software, it helps convince security software that your software is trustworthy. This means fewer false alarms and smoother experience for your users.
But this add a cost.
Yes, obtaining a code signing certificate usually involves a cost, as it requires a verification by a trusted certificate authority. However, many businesses consider this an essential investment because it enhances your software security and builds trust with your users, which can be crucial for your reputation and the success of your software.
How much can it cost?
The cost can vary quite a bit depending on the certificate authority and the type of certificate you choose. Prices can range from a few $100s to over $1,000 per year. It's worth comparing options from reputable providers to find the one that best suits your needs and budget.
And does it take time to actually, once you get that certificate, to apply it and to make sure your executables are signed?
The process of applying the certificate and signing your executables is generally straightforward. Once you have your certificate, you'll use specific tools provided by your operating system or development environment to sign your code. The actual signing process itself is usually quick, but the initial setup and integration into your development workflow might take a little bit of time.
But there's also some paperwork to do before getting the certificate just to make sure I'm really who I pretend to be, isn't it?
Yes, that's correct. Before you can get a code signing certificate, you'll need to go through a validation process with the certificate authority. This typically involves providing documentation to verify your identity or your organization's details. It's a securities measure to ensure that only legitimate publishers can obtain these certificates, which helps maintain the trust in the system.
All right. Well,
Thank you. Thank you, Gemini.
You're welcome. I'm glad I could help clarify the importance of code signing certificates. If you have any more questions in the future, feel free to ask.
so I think that helps explain what we would have been
Yeah.
saying, made it a little more interesting. But
In a
yeah,
better English than that's what I would do.
well, anyway, it's really cool. Everything I don't know about you, Jean. Everything I think it reported was accurate, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
In
uh,
fact, yes, in my case, I already got my first certificate 6 years ago. So the paperwork we were talking about has already been done. All I have to do now is to renew the certificate, which is done for 3 years. So that's the second time I do this renewal for 3 more years. And but the bad part of it is that the price is always going higher each year, each 3 years.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So again, if you can donate, I'll put a link up here that goes to Jean's. Is it Indigo? What's the?
Indiegogo. So it's a site where you can contribute to crowdsourcing campaign. So it will help me to pay. In fact, I have to pay $625 for this certificate. I have a few other expenses, domain renewal, email support platform to subscribe to renew. So all this put together for this year, I have $900 expenses to cover. So I'm asking users who get this free software and who are very, very supportive about the software to just help me to pay for these expenses.
Yeah, and if you're not a quick access pop-up user, check it out. It's a great tool. I still use it daily. It's an amazing tool, highly functional, highly customizable. It's a bit advanced tool. It does a lot of different stuff. So there's a learning curve, but it has a lot of really great functionality built into it. But and also to back up, Jean's not even asking for any money for his time. This is just to cover his expenses.
Yeah,
So
of course.
thanks everyone. Cheers.
Thank you, Joe.